Can you tell us a little bit about more the teachers and maybe about some students? Maybe we can share some successful stories, to get connected to him and to guide him better and to teach him. Because when he's open and feels confident, he get good connection with the teacher or the therapist, so it's better to do it. You shared with us a beautiful story about how you turn learning into a game. So what have you noticed that the students enjoy the most? Can you give us another example? Hello everyone, this is Tomer Camille from Jumping Forward, and we are in another episode of SEL podcast. Please welcome Lauren Wood, owner and founding director of Elevated Purpose Learning Community. Hey, how are you?
Hello, hi, how are you?
I'm really excited about this episode because you are really talented and you have so much experience and you've done so much. So I really want to talk about it, all about your experience, about your school and everything. So let's get started.
Sounds
So,
great.
so you are the owner of a micro school. Can you tell us a little bit about how you came up with this idea and what is exactly micro school?
Yes, absolutely. So I decided to open up my own micro school after working in different educational environments for quite some time, since 2005. I've been in public schools, private schools, charters, higher education, even an art museum. So I've been in education and education adjacent positions, and just over the years have seen the need for something very specialized for our kids in regard to making sure that the students who tend to quote unquote fall between the cracks, the ones who sometimes have issues academically or maybe are a little shy, those students really need a space. And so I decided to open my micro school for those students. And
And
then
how
in
old?
micro school itself, because I realized I didn't answer that question, that part of the question. So a micro school doesn't have a legal definition, but overarchingly, a micro school is a small school setting. Most micro schools have multi-age or multi-grade classes, which is the case for me. We have K to 2, 3 to 5, and 6 to 8. And usually there is project-based learning involved, but you will definitely see personalized instruction or individualized instruction for each child.
And how many students go to school? How many students are in a class? How the students hear about your school? How would they know that there is a solution that fits them well?
Well, we started off advertising online on Facebook and neighborhood apps and things of that nature. But it's most important to get out into the community and actually connect. So we did have in-person events as well. The back to school events this school year were major in getting our name out there and helping families to find us. And our class caps at 10 students per class so that
Wow.
it maintains a micro environment. And in all honesty, that's still a little high, and I don't think that we're going to get to that point. I think that 6 to 8 really is that the comfort zone.
I think 10 is a good number because on one hand, they get enough attention, and then students can give them the attention and be aware of the challenges they face with. And on the other end, it's 10 students, so they need to work in a group and still have classmates that they need to work with and get along with. So I think it's a good number.
Yes, that's the exact idea. That's it.
Can you tell us a little bit about more the teachers and maybe about some students? Maybe we can share some successful stories.
Sure. So in our environment and in micro schools in general, you do tend to see a lot of students who either need a lot of academic assistance and or you'll see students with disabilities, whether they are um, minor, moderate, or severe. In our case, we're not able to service severe disabilities at this time, but we do have mild and moderate in our group at this juncture. So it has been lovely having my awesome staff because they do have experience working with a broad range of different students in different types of environments. And in our younger student group, which we call the littles, that's our K to 2 group. It has been phenomenal having our K to 2 teachers. We actually have two of them who have been tag teaming that group because our students are first time school environment students. They've never been to a quote unquote school before.
Wow.
So it has been amazing having our group together because we're able to build a school experience for them. They don't have anything else to compare it to, so this is their first official experience.
Wow. So actually, if they didn't go to your school, so the other option is to stay at home and just stay at home, right?
Yes, correct. For our older student in the group, they've been homeschooling. So technically, they've been in school, but not in a school building or in a school setting.
But
So,
their parents are able to teach them and to take care of them and to be with them all the time. It's difficult.
yes, most definitely. And mom of that particular student is very, very happy to deliver their child to us each day
Yes.
because they do need to have, as you mentioned earlier, that social aspect, the social interactions.
Wow. So this is amazing because I believe that you saved this kid's life because otherwise they would stay at home and it's easy you go to do
Other things other
yeah,
than what they need
other
to
bad
be
things,
doing.
other bad things. This is the wrong path, and you really saved them. Wow. Uh, can you tell us a little bit about the SEL? When we first talked, you told us that you implement some SEL programs at your school. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, absolutely. So I do want to start off by saying, and I know we've talked about this briefly before, but for the audience, that SEL is not about the feel goods and stickers, and that's not what SEL is about. It is an actual process. So that's one thing that I think that people don't realize. SEL indeed is a process and it involves more than just emotions. We also need to make sure that we're looking at the relationship building aspects and being able to regulate those emotions. So for us at my micro school, those are the two aspects that we really hone in on. Um, One of the things that I really, really like about the students that we have is that it doesn't matter what grade another student is in, they all gravitate towards each other. So the older students, sometimes the littles will, tag along with them or they want to interact and play. And the older students, they always take it in stride and they welcome it. They welcome the interactions. So I think that that also helps not only the younger students to learn how to deal with different types of relationships, but also for the older students to learn that everyone is not always going to be the same age or have the same interests. You have to learn how to deal with different types of people. And those are skills that they're going to need for the rest of their lives, especially as they
Yes.
go on to college and they get jobs or build their own businesses. Those are life skills that they're developing.
Yes. And I know that today there is a tendency that a lot of parents are against it. Why do you think that are parents against it? Because in the end of the day, every parent should know that their daughter or son should have social skills, should be able to control their anger, to manage their anger. So why do you think they're against it?
Well, like a lot of things, where someone doesn't understand it, they just automatically don't like it. I think
Hmm.
that's what's happening in this case. Um, Another part of that is sometimes the adult is dealing with something themselves and they don't know how to deal with it. So
Yes.
then, you have those internal struggles on top of what's happening with the child. And then it just is a whole whirlwind of chaotics, emotionally and mentally. So you can't really help yourself if you don't know that you need help, and then you can't help someone else if you haven't helped yourself first.
It's interesting perspective. Yeah, I didn't think about it, that maybe the parents face the same challenge and they're not aware of it, so they don't know exactly what SEL is, so that's why they are against it. Yeah. Why did you choose to become an educator?
Ooh, I always love this question. So, I originally did not start out with the intention of going into education. At 5 years old, I still remember an assignment that we had to do in class, and it, of course, was asking what you want to be when you grow up. And I wrote pediatrician. Still dealing with kids, but yeah, we obviously didn't go down that route. But in college, I actually took a few education courses in my undergraduate years, and I still have this assignment on one of my papers. The professor wrote, "You're going to be a great teacher one day." And then it dawned on me, I'm like, oh, well, maybe I am kind of good at this. Maybe we'll try. And then fast forward to today, here we are.
This is a really important point, that I think that we need to focus on what we're good at, because when we do something that we enjoy and we have confidence, so we don't feel like it's our work and we want to do it, and we can invest more time, and we don't give up easily. And I think this is the same thing that we should do with our kids at school, to focus on the good things that are, because most of the time that I talk to some parents that said, "Oh, my kid is not good as this, my kid is not good at that. How can we get better?" And I think the first thing we should focus on what is good. To ask the parents, "Okay, he's not good at that. We can get better, but let's focus on what he likes, what he's good at, and then we can build his confidence, and maybe to use this tool, to get connected to him and to guide him better and to teach him." Because when he's open and feels confident, get good connection with the teacher or the therapist, so it's better to do it
Absolutely.
easier.
And that's exactly why one of the models at my micro school is find your people, passion, and purpose at Elevated Purpose Learning Community. So that's exactly the point, is that students, children, and even us as adults, we all need to move with purpose, think with purpose, act with purpose. Um, and as children, sometimes they kind of know what they're interested in, but they're not really sure how to make it a thing or to monetize it or, you know, um, I like to draw or I like, playing with Play-Doh, but mommy said I need to go and do my math homework. So how do we kind of mesh those things so that, we're actually doing both? Well, at my micro school, we have things called Play-Doh mats. So for
Wow.
our littles, yes. So for our littles, for example, first week of school, one of the students had not written their name before, like ever picked up a pencil and written their name. So we printed out their name, we put it on the Play-Doh mat, and then the student was able to use their hands and fill in the spaces of their name using the Play-Doh. And then it dawned like, oh my gosh, oh, this is my name. That's me. That's me, and it made them want to pick up a pencil and then try to write it.
And then you can talk about it. Why did you choose this color? Why did you choose this color for this letter? Why is it colorful? If you chose only one color, why? We can discuss this and talk about it because it means a lot. Maybe some kid can choose each letter for a different color. Maybe a different student can pick the same color for the entire letter. Maybe this is his favorite color.
Yes, yeah, it turned into a whole discussion, and interesting that you bring that up because the student did use more than one color.
Yeah,
Yep,
so
and it
it
was
says a
for a
lot.
purpose.
Yeah. And we discussed about it earlier. Why do you think the need of SEL is increasing? We had the COVID, and we have the thing that the kids are on the phone a lot of time, watch a screen, or play on the PlayStation, the computer. But do you think there are more reasons behind this?
Well, I definitely think that overall, just thinking about society in general, there is a lack of um, real communication going on. You would be amazed sometimes where I'm face to face with someone and it feels like this person really doesn't know how to have a true banter or a true back and forth, whether it's a business conversation or just in line at the grocery store, whatever the case may be. There are some people who really don't know how to truly communicate, and the feel that you get from them is texting, texting, texting. I know how to put an emoji to express how I feel, but I don't know how to verbalize it. That's the feel that you get from some people. So I'm thinking that the need is increasing because people are not communicating as we've as humans are intended to communicate. We're not supposed to just have our heads down in the phone 24 hours a day, or not verbally communicate or be able to go back and forth. We're social beings for a reason, and unfortunately I think that the technology, as good as it is when it's good, it also has diminished our ability to properly communicate.
And I feel like it's getting worse, because if like 2 years ago we would text and send text, now people use ChatGPT to text for them. So it's getting worse and worse, and maybe we should do something about it at school. Maybe to work on more on the CL about teamwork, about communication, because I feel like it's getting worse. And at the end of the day, those kids will go to school, will go to college, will have to find a job, as you said earlier, and at university, and especially when you find a job, you have to work with your colleagues, with other people, so it will be difficult for them.
For sure. Oh, when you said the magic word with ChatGPT, I didn't even get into that part yet. But yeah, the AI definitely is playing a role as well, and it's a little scary when I think about how we used to say, well, what do you want to imagine yourself to be doing in 10 years? Now, things can be so much different a year from now, once we start thinking about technology. 3 years ago, I wasn't thinking about grading my students' essays and having to consider if they were using Chat GPT. It just wasn't on the radar. But now, that is a very real, that's reality now at this point.
Yeah, so how do you handle it? How do you do what do you do?
Fortunately, AI does have a feel to it when you
Yes.
read, when you read things that are obviously done by AI. And then you also can compare it to the way that the student speaks as well. I have a student who writes the same way that she speaks.
Yes.
So when she goes to do an assignment and she's not quite sure, and then she adds the AI razzle dazzle, I can clearly tell because it's a completely different voice, it's a completely different feel behind it. So I think that AI is useful for certain assignments when it comes to the structure of it. But you definitely are able to tell because it's missing that the human feel behind it a lot of times.
So this is a good question because on one hand it's a good tool that we can use it and we need to take advantage of it. On the other hand, some students take advantage of it and ask the GPT to do all the work. So I think that we need to think about how we can let the student use it, but not to do the job. Maybe I don't know. We need because I think this is an effective tool that we can use it but not ask the GPT to do all the work. So,
Yeah, I think that ultimately, if you're using it for a template, like to create for example, an essay template so that you know what to put in where,
yeah.
but then you go back in and actually write it yourself, then that's useful. But yeah, absolutely, I agree. The AI tools or technology in general should not be doing all of the work.
You shared with us a beautiful story about how you turn learning into a game. So, what have you noticed that the students enjoy the most? Can you give us another example?
Sure. So, at Elevated Purpose Learning Community, one of the things that makes us special is that we fuse project-based learning with play-based learning. For many people, when they hear project-based learning, they automatically think about older students and they go straight into STEM or STEAM, which we also offer too. But we fuse that with play-based learning, which is usually used for younger students in early learning education, but we fuse them both and we apply it across all grade levels so that students are able to actually enjoy what they're doing versus writing things down on a worksheet or staying on the computer all day on Khan Academy or whatever kind of app they're working on. We make it personable and we make it fun by involving projects and games. So, for an example, um, part of our day is spent outside, of course, recess time and lunchtime. So on our way to our lunch area, we go over a little bridge. There's always birds outside. The ducks are always in the water. Usually babies and their strollers are coming by. There's always something, to look at and interact with. So we even take that time as an opportunity for play and discussion and picking up different items on our nature walks and then taking them back to our class environment and then doing something with that. Or maybe taking our sensory tables out to our lunchtime area, which that, by the way, has been a huge hit. Our littles really, really enjoy the sand table
Yes.
for sensory. And then our older students are very much into music and theater and the dramatics. So we allow them at lunchtime time to either do monologues for us, or they may sing different songs, and that's their showcase time. So being able to, as you were mentioning earlier about passion, allowing the students to find that and then share it, and not be told, no, that has to wait until later because it's not the time right now. Allowing them that freedom and the space, those have been tremendous and are a success.
Oh, it's amazing. It's exciting. And how do you share their talent? Like, do you invite their parents or friends to come to watch it, or maybe you can make a video clip? Because I believe that you need to celebrate the talent, to celebrate the fun, and it builds confidence in the end of the day.
Yes, for sure. So of course we, share certain images on our social media pages, but
Yes.
besides that, um, we also offer being able to stay. So we call it parent stay, where
Mhm.
the parent gets to tag along with us during our school day and their child. And then also at lunchtime, sometimes we'll have parents who just join us for the lunch period. So that is actually the perfect time for our
Yes.
students to shine, because they have, their audience, but it's people that they feel comfortable with.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then sometimes we have people who are just passing by and they're looking and watching, and then they want to see what's going on and know what's happening. And it's awesome. So our lunch period is not the traditional lunch period.
Um, so let's go to the next part, final thoughts. So what is one thing that you keep yourself calm when things get chaotic? It's
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So being in this seat, being a business owner now and director, you definitely have your days where it feels like steam is coming out of your ears. And that is when you yourself have to practice those SEL strategies. So for me and my self-regulation, I really have to make sure that I'm staying in the moment of what's going on. I understand my feelings. Yes, I'm angry right now, or yes, I'm upset right now. Is there something that I can do about it currently? Or is it something that I have to plan for in order to rectify this issue? What actions can I take in the short term? What actions can I take in the long term to make sure this doesn't happen again? Or that it's a easier experience if it's something that does have to happen again. So I start with the questions because I'm just a cognitive person, but I'm also a really emotional person as well. But I make sure that the cognitive takes over first before the emotional starts ringing in my ears.
And do you have this moment when you stop, look at your achievement, and say, "Wow, look what I have done! That I take care of all those kids. I change their future. I change the future of those new generation kids." Or you are worried about all the time, and because sometimes business people and educators and people like you are worried and try to find a solution or try to change, and we don't stop for a second to say, "Wow, you know, I'm doing something good here."
Yes. Yeah, that definitely brings me back also, from those kind of moments. You do have to bring it back to, wow, I actually am accomplishing something, really, really good. And look at how far I've already come. Because sometimes I think, just as people, that when we have a goal in mind, we're not stopping and celebrating those small victories.
Yes.
And then it just gets frustrating because we're so focused on the large the overarching goal, but we really do need to, as things are building. Oh yes, oh, I've got an enrollment today. Oh, fantastic. All right, we got the curriculum tool that we've been waiting for the past 2 weeks. Oh, fantastic. Oh, look at everybody. We finally made it to the point where we don't have to take so long to transition in between activities. So, just the small things, they do add up because you have to maintain your own morale before you're able to, make it the same way for other people. So,
And how do you do it, and how do you teach the kids to move from a negative mindset to a positive mindset? I'm sure that you handle with this a lot, probably every day. And I was thinking if you teach the kids about it, and maybe you have idea how do you do it?
yes. So, in the education, for audience who is watching, we have something called growth mindset. That's easily Googleable. And verbiage is so, so important. So I don't know how to do this yet, but I'm working on it. I will get there. That yet is so strong because if I just say I don't know how to do this, even just in me saying it, and I'm not even talking about anything in particular, just the statement, I felt, negatively when I said it. Like I could feel it physically. But if I say, I don't know how to do this yet, okay, now my mind is going, next question is, what can I do so that I can learn how to do it? What's the next step so that I can keep going? Now I feel more positive. So having the proper growth mindset verbiage, and that's something that as adults, the staff, we verbalize so that the kids, they hear it and then they pick it up and they start using it. So that has been key and making sure that we're not staying down in the dumps when something doesn't go our way, or if we're not picking up a skill as fast as we want to, that we're, still being encouraging, realistic, but encouraging.
I ask you this question because I don't think we can expect from our kids to do something if we don't do it. We cannot ask kids to read
Exactly.
books if we don't read books. We don't expect from the kids to eat healthy food if we don't do it. We say we, it's the teachers, educators, parents. We can't ask the kids to be calm, stay calm if we drive and we curse the other drivers and don't do drive properly. So we cannot expect the kids to do the same thing when they go and play out. So this is why I ask you the question.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, we were right on the same page.
So last question for today. So what three things you're grateful for today?
Ooh, oh, that is such a good question. Um, three things. One, definitely grateful for health and sound mind, as always, always, on top of the list. Grateful for new perspectives. This year has been wow. That's it's a story for another day, but this year has been a
For the next
year for the
episode.
books. Yeah, a year for the books. So I'm definitely grateful for new perspectives. That would be two. And three, I'll say my family. That will be my blood family, of course, and also my school family.
Wow, so thank you so much for sharing this information. I didn't know much about micro school, and now I know. I think you're doing great work, and just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much. And yes, likewise. I really, really hope that more of the word gets out about SEL because we need it as a society, not just, our children, but us as adults as well. And as you were just mentioning, we can expect our kids to do something if we're not doing it. So it starts with us as adults.
Thank you so much for sharing to us for your time and bye bye.
Thank you. Have a good one.